Thank you for joining me again on this podcast. My name is Dotson Oyawe, and it's always a delight to see you. Thank you for following. Thank you for those messages and how this has been useful to you. Thank you. We are just our own baby steps to ensure that we get the word out there in terms of what the Lord is laying on our heart and the things I want you to learn. I'm starting a new conversation today, and I'm excited about it. It's for men and everyone who loves them. So you will listen to this for your son, for your husband, for your daddy, for your male friends. But please, this is going to be exciting. I've tagged it the Bro Code series, right? And it's a number of discussions that's going to help us, face life better and face specific areas of life as men and be effective at it. Are you ready? Good. My first point today, interestingly, I don't know why this is the first one that is coming to my heart, but some years ago, as I pastored and I still pastor, I began to lead people, and young men get married, they're excited, and it seems the excitement just begin to fade away very quickly as their wives get pregnant. And the pregnancy sometimes I've seen families who just never remain the same after the things they went through in the first pregnancy. And so today I'd like to speak to you about what I've titled the Travails of a Pregnant Husband. It's going to take me maybe about 5 podcasts, but it's okay. Just taking us through, getting us prepared for that season. Now, you might not be married. This will be useful for you someday. You might be, and your wife is not yet pregnant. Fantastic. It's going to be useful someday. It might be that you're already in pregnancy, or you've had 1 or 2 children, or you're even done raising children and having children, and now you're facing life. The lessons you will learn from here can be useful in preparation for pregnancy, walk through pregnancy, or to help you reminisce on the things that happened in pregnancy and how it has affected your relationship. And so I hope you're here already and got your tea, biscuits, and all of that, and let's do this together. See, marriage is beautiful. And I tell you, say that with the whole of my heart. Marriage is beautiful. God is the maker of marriage, and it is beautiful. But pregnancy in itself is an interesting phenomenon. The wonders of conception in itself is just a mystery. We can be awed by the greatness of God when you look at how pregnancy happens. You can't explain, science has been able to explain the internal workings of pregnancy, right? But the truth of the matter is that you just know that suddenly certain changes begin to happen. You test and your spouse is pregnant. But I've seen also what women go through pregnancy. A woman faces enormous challenges pulling through those 9 months, from the first day to the time the baby shows up, and subsequently. Wow, the woman goes through a lot. From the morning sicknesses to the emotional imbalances, the process could be tough. Sometimes she can't even explain what's going on with her. I remember when Lyle got pregnant with our first child. There were certain things she just could not understand. She was wondering, why am I feeling this? Why am I sick? What's going on with me? And so it comes with all kinds of things, and it's enormous for the woman. Years back, I had this couple who were with me for a period. I was unmarried. They were just with me for a while. I think they were in transit, or they were planning to move into a new house, but they were with me. And so they had come in that evening, and the wife said, let me make some food, and all of that. Now, because of the way the house was structured, the sitting room door leads to the kitchen, and she felt like, let me close the door so that the aroma would not distract you guys too. So myself and her husband were gisting in the sitting room. And then it dawned on us that it's been a while though. And so after a few minutes, our husband decided to go check her in the kitchen, and she wasn't there. So he peeped and found out. No, he came back in and said, did you notice my wife walk out of the kitchen? I said, no. Then went back into the kitchen and began to hear the sounds of a woman weeping, right? And so he rushed out. I didn't know at that point. He rushed out and was just asking what's going on, and she was just weeping. It was It was as if she was mourning someone. It was just weeping. He ran back to me and said, I don't know what's going on. My wife is just crying. She's just weeping. And I've asked her, she said she doesn't even know. So how can someone be crying without knowing? I laughed. I said, is she pregnant? He said, yes. Or I said, that these things happen. And so he went back and he said, so what do I do? I said, just be with her. You don't need to say anything to her. Just be with her. Of course, I wasn't married. It wasn't like I'd been around a pregnant wife before, but I'd been around my sister-in-law and a few other people who had been pregnant. And she just could not explain what she was going through. And so it's not impossible that the women themselves can't even fully explain what they're going through. So I tell you, it's some enormous work going on with them. But I see that a lot has been said and written about how women have to go through the pregnancy, awesome books and materials that are there for women to understand what goes on. But there's a problem, there's a gap. We're not saying much to the pregnant husbands because, see, once your wife is pregnant, you are pregnant also. Because from that point henceforth, she is carrying the baby, you are carrying her with the baby. You are carrying her, the baby, and every other thing that is around her. In fact, for responsible men, they feel responsible for the happiness of their wives through pregnancy. They want to do everything possible to ensure that their wives are happy. And so this next 4 or 5 broadcasts are for you and for the women, just to understand. Let me say 3 quick things. Number 1 is that pregnancy can be sweet, can be beautiful. I look at my marriage today and some of our best moments, some of our most intimate, some of our most memorable moments were in the course of pregnancy. One of these days, my wife and I were reliving, the beauty of those. I mean, we have 3 daughters and awesome pregnancies through each of them, and we're reliving the moments, joking about them. My wife said, "See, I love those moments so much." I said, "Please, as much as you love them, don't get pregnant again." These 3 of them were just fine. The Lord has blessed us with them, and when they are going to grow before Him, right? But the truth is, they were good moments for us because we were able to tackle the issues in the midst of it. So I'd like you to know, pregnancy is beautiful. Yes. Secondly, is that as beautiful as pregnancy is, you must also understand that there are adjustments you will need to make. I told the young man, I said, the moment you chose to be married, you chose to make serious adjustments in your life. There are things you can't do the same way anymore. There are places you can't be the way you want them to, you would want to be there again. It just changes, absolutely. And so when pregnancy comes, a new life has been introduced into your union. It means that you both will make adjustments. Please note this. It will not just be the woman carrying the pregnancy that will make adjustment. The father also, the pregnant daddy also has to make adjustments. Adjustments are crucial. Now, some of these adjustments can be pleasant. Some of them can be tedious. When my wife was in her first trimester, and when she's in her first trimester for the 3 children, she had issues with smelling a lot of normal things. In our first pregnancy, and I think through the 3 pregnancies, I would have to use my body lotion, my roll-on, my cologne. I can't use any of them in the house. I practically had all of them locked up in my safe in the car, or I had them in a small bag. And so when I'm going to work in the morning, all I could do, and I needed to use a particular bathing soap that I hated because that was the only one that maybe had no smell, had no fragrance. Every fragrance would throw her into morning sickness, and she would throw up and throw up and throw up. So I had to make that kind of adjustment. There was another time that we practically could not make food in the house because everything we needed to eat were things that would not sate her. Even the ones she calls for herself, she says, I want to eat this and all of that, and we decide to start preparing it in the house, it would usually be a problem. So sometimes one of the things I needed to do when I had the privilege, to be available around in the house, maybe she's gone to work, I will leave work, take 1 hour off work, rush back home and quickly boil the pepper, for instance, right? Because she could not cope with pepper. We boiled the pepper and opened all the vents, all the windows in the house, just for things to calm down before she comes. When we travel in pregnancy and we get into an hotel that has hair fresheners, I'll say, please just first of all stay at the reception. I'll go into the room, please clear out the hair fresheners, the diffusers, open the windows until the whole place begins to smell fresh, as it were, then we can go in. Those were adjustments we needed to make. And guess what? Those adjustments pay off. Are we here? So, pregnancy is good, but there are adjustments to make. The other part, and the third thing I'd like to mention about pregnancy is that, guess what? It's a privilege to begin to nurture another life before you see that life physically. Nurture. I don't know if this is scientific, but I found out that a newborn baby will meet the mood of the home when he or she is born. You have a baby today, whatever the mood of the home had been, if it had been a lot of strife, had been a lot of pain, the moment that baby is born, it is born into that mood. Yes. In fact, someone said that when your wife's pregnancy is beautiful, the baby comes out healthy. I don't know if it is scientific, I don't know. But someone just said, I've seen that in my short practice as a pediatrician, that and the baby just comes healthy, is just in good health and all of that. There can be challenges, and that's going to be something I'm going to share in the second or third, podcast. But the truth is, it is beautiful. There are adjustments, and then you have a privilege to nurture a new life. So why don't you enjoy the privilege? Enjoy the process. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy every bit of it. Where lifestyle adjustment is necessary, make the lifestyle adjustment. Right. But as I wrap up, I know sometimes some pregnancies could really be some matters, and I'll share a bit about that. But please let me say to you, pregnant dad, in all that you do, don't run away from home. Yeah, I've counseled with men and they will just bury themselves at work. That is when they will begin to go on all the official assignments and begin to work late and take projects that are not their projects just because they want to have some peace before you get home. See, it takes two to tango. She didn't get pregnant on her own, so be there with her. Be there with her. Stay there with her. Love her as much as you loved her. She was just a sweet 16 that you guys picked yourself around town, enjoyed the cinema, enjoyed walking across the lawn and enjoying the meadow and everything you enjoyed. Please do well to enjoy it still in pregnancy, no matter the changes that you see. Don't run away. Love, say good things, say beautiful things about her still. Watch her very well. A few things might have changed, and I'll share about the adjustments in my next broadcast. Yeah, a few things might have changed, but as much as has changed, do well to love her nonetheless. I hope this has been useful. I pray for that pregnant dad today who is just wondering, am I going to do this for 9 months? Yes, you will, but receive strength in the name of Jesus. God bless you. Share with the other pregnant dads and other pregnant men and let them enjoy this and learn from it. I'll be glad to see you in the next broadcast. God bless you.